Yo. Pound for pound boxing channel, man. Let me check out the sound, make sure everything's good to go. You know what I'm saying? Just figure I just do a spontaneous stream real quick. Let me check my sound real quick. Hold on. Make sure everything good. All right, we're good. We're good. Let me get this, try to send this link out. You know what I'm saying? How do I do this? I don't really live stream like that. Trying to see, how do I send the link? Where is the link, people? Where is the link at? Share screen, invite. Invite. Okay, there goes the stream. Okay, we're good. Send this out. We'll see what happens with this. Try to get some of my people on here, talk this boxing. But yeah, man, just to get the thing started, I believe it's sent out. What is this? Let me see. Okay, yo. I guess to get it started, man, Deontay Wilder. He's got to drag Tyson Fury to court. You know what I'm saying? Try to get that trilogy going. Sad, man. It's really sad. That's sad that this man, Deontay Wilder, got to drag Tyson Fury to get the trilogy. It was already agreed upon. People saying, and I'm tired of reading the comments too. That's what I'm really tired of that. Hold on. My bad, y'all. But yeah, I'm tired of reading the comments about Deontay Wilder. People saying, "Oh, he waited till after the contract expired to say anything." I've been killing y'all. Like on social media, I've been killing y'all straight up. Every group, everybody, I've been dogging y'all. And I like Tyson Fury. He's a great fighter. You can't take nothing away from him. But at the same time, you're not gonna sit up here and blame Deontay Wilder for everything. Everything is Deontay Wilder's fault. Somebody else get knocked out. Oh, well, Wilder should have fought him. He wouldn't have tested positive if Wilder would have fought him. Wilder should still fight him. It doesn't matter. Come on. But yeah, if Big Baby tests positive, you want to get him out of boxing. Tyson Fury tests positive and run away, allegedly. You got to throw that on there so I don't, get in trouble for that. But nonetheless, he tests positive, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And run away, allegedly. He's still okay. All the controversy with his gloves. I ain't even talking about the Wilder fight. I'm talking about other fights. All the videos of referees coming out saying, man, this dude is so dirty. He's the dirtiest fighter ever. The fact that Tyson Fury ran from the rematch to go get 2 fights in. Now, if everything was flipped, y'all would hate Deontay Wilder. Oh, he's ducking. He's running. He's scary. I told you he wasn't nothing. Come on, man. That's what I be talking about. That's what I be talking about. It's a double standard. But how is everything Deontay Wilder's fault when it comes to the trilogy? I don't understand. We got a contract in place. We have an understanding. We should go fight. Okay, you beat me the second fight, controversy or not, nonetheless, whatever. I ain't even going to get into all of that. Bottom line is, we're going to run it back. And these, not even Tyson Fury fans, just these delusional, ridiculous fans out here, they out here saying crazy stuff. Oh, Tyson Fury shouldn't have to fight Deontay Wilder. Oh, he doesn't have to do it. Oh, he can do whatever he wants. Listen, man, he's got Joshua. That's another thing. Listen, Joshua's going to be fighting Pulev in December, right? So what you going to do in the meantime? Because this is my thing. Bob Arum came out and said this, right? Uh-oh. Boxing Source, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
How you doing? Yeah, I'm just sitting there talking about the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder going to court situation. What you think about that?
It's just a messy situation, man. I don't know. I mean, they're supposed to like do something, I guess, within the next couple of weeks in reference to this. But I mean, I just think that they should just have this thing be handled sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for me, on one side, it's not surprising, but the thing is, I kind of like said this for a while. I said that on Wilder's side, if he really thinks that some funny business has been going on, then he should take it up with the state athletic commissions as well.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
but the thing with the contract is that we, at least I don't know what the specifics of the contract was.
Mm.
So if there was like a date for, when the fight was supposed to take place or anything like that, then it would be, specified in the contract. But going off of what Wilder said a couple of days ago, he said that, that they basically let it lapse. And to me, that was strange that he would say something like that, that the contract lapse and they let the deadline go through and not do anything. So it kind of like makes it all confusing, man, because it's like, oh, Tyson Fury was acting like he didn't want to fight me or anything like that, and I was ready to go in July and I was ready to go in October, and they had the thing in December, but then at the same time you let the contract lapse without coming forward as far as like saying, okay, we want to have a fight by this specific date, and that we got to see if Fury and his team agrees to that date. So it's kind of messy all the way around, man.
I mean, I'm with you, but at the same time, Bob Arum came out, Wilder came out, and said it was ESPN and Fox. They needed the gate. We got the whole, Corona situation. You can't really. There was no boxing for months. You know what I'm saying? This type of fight with as much guaranteed money that these guys are guaranteed to make, you got to have a gate. You know what I'm saying? So everything's being pushed back. Fox and them, they try to have it in, was it, you said what, July, then October, then it was December. And what, they said, I think it was the last thing. December was with the football games and conference championships, big games, networks. They didn't want to have boxing on that night. That's cool. They try to push it to February. Now Tyson Fury saying, oh no, I want to fight in December. My whole thing is with Fury fans, I'm with you. Like, okay, we want to see Tyson Fury. Cool. I understand that him and AJ got a deal going on for next year. But in the meantime, why would you not want to see the trilogy as opposed to Tyson Fury fighting and nobody? That's my thing. You rather have him fight somebody he's gonna beat, or you want to have some good entertainment, and you got him in a fight where you don't know what could happen. Like, let's not forget Deontay Wilder knocked this man down twice in the first fight. The man was out in the 12th round, but everybody seemed to forget that. You know what I'm saying?
People haven't forgotten that. I haven't forgotten that. I think was in that first fight, Deontay Wilder knocked him down twice, but he wasn't able to finish the job. I think people are overlooking that. Like, Wilder has to finish the job. If he feels like he did such a thing to Tyson Fury, you got to finish the job. And in the first fight, he wasn't able to do that. And then in the second fight, he, just basically got blown out. So with that being said, it's like if you have a convincing victory like Tyson Fury did on February 22nd, then I guess the demand for a third fight wouldn't necessarily be there in comparison if it was like another close fight. Like if it was like, say, like Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Like there was never really a definitive victor in any fight except for the fourth fight.
Mm.
So with that, it's like understandable to, have like another fight, like say after the first fight or the second fight between Pacquiao and Marquez. But in this case where it's like, okay, you didn't really get a definitive winner in the first fight, but you got a definitive winner in the second fight. So Yeah, some people may say that, a third fight should be warranted, but with it being as far, the result being as it was for the second fight, it's not like it's as much in demand as, like, say, in between the first fight and the second fight.
I'm with
So my thing is, and I haven't really seen this, is like from the financial perspective. I haven't seen Disney really, or any representative from Disney or Fox or ESPN stepping out and saying, "Hey, we got a fight of this magnitude, and we don't want to lose a fight of this magnitude because, of like I said, COVID-19 or any other situation, and that we don't really want to lose viewership or a gate." So why is it that Tyson Fury wants to go ahead and have this fight? Well, if he can, and the I would say the contract allows him to do that, then that's fine. But you got to be able to have it to the point where you say, "Hey, look, we had this deal where it's two fights that we have a joint promotional, or joint promotionals, joint networks, and everything like that. We had a 2-fight deal. So unless if it's like some out of the world circumstances, we still got to have this second fight happen within this 2-fight deal." So my thing is, I'm waiting on the representatives from Disney Corporation to say, what are they going to do in reference to this particular fight?
I'm with you. I honestly think what they do, like what, 800,000, 900,000 on for the second fight.
Pay-per-view, I think it was around like 825,000 pay-per-view buys.
So in my mind, that's a failure. In my mind, you got ESPN and Fox promoting the fight, had them on like what, college football, talking and stuff, and doing halftime stuff. Like, come on, man, that's a lot of money put behind these promotions to get only 900,000 pay-per-view buys. Like, that's the reason why we not getting big fights, because they're not doing good numbers like that. But you actually put the money into the promotion, and this what you got. I'm not liking that. And then on top of that, then you got to split the profit with a whole nother network, which you really didn't want to do business with. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to come back with the third fight. I could see the networks not really wanting to work with each other, because if I could see if the second fight was close, just like with the first fight on Showtime. Now we come back with the second fight. It was a blowout. The fans are really kind of not really feeling it. We got all these, excuses, explanations, however you want to call it, from, Team Wilder, and whatever. But for me, I don't care about none of that. If you got a contract, you got a contract. Get Fury, bring his ass in the ring, and let's fight. That's it. I don't care about, I don't want to fight him. I want to fight somebody lesser December 5th. I don't want to mess up, the fight with AJ. Man, if you don't get your big ass in the ring and shut up, you got time for all of that, bro. I'm tired of all of that. All of this, I want to do this. I want to do that. You signed a contract. You went in there. You stole the belt from the man. Let him get it. Let him have a chance to get his belt back. He gave you how many opportunities? 2 opportunities. He the one that brought you out of, depression and stuff. He the one gave you the opportunity. Did split 50-50 with you twice. And that's how you repay the man?
He didn't do a 50-50 split.
He did.
No, he did not.
So it went 50-50 split the first 2 fights?
No.
Really?
No, it was not.
Or was it?
Wilder had and for the first fight, the base purse was Wilder with $4 million and Fury with $2 million. I mean, not $2 million, $3 million. I have to see what the purse was for the second fight, but it was supposed to be like a thing with the split. So, no, I think the second one it was 50-50, but the first one was not.
So if that's stupid. If I got the bigger share of the first fight and it was a draw, why would I pay you 50-50 in the second fight? You didn't win. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be the same thing. But I'm not trying to spend time on that. I don't even really care about that. Bottom line is Tyson Fury need to get in the ring. We know we got to fight. You want to fight AJ? Cool. And you know what? Be prepared for this. And I'm gonna say this: be prepared for the WBC to come out and give Fury that franchise. I'm see it right now. I see it.
Nah.
You don't think that?
Although I wouldn't be surprised about anything the WBC does because they have just created another division where they would have another belt being awarded. I wouldn't be surprised one bit of anything that the WBC does at this point. My thing that I'm just stuck on is that Wilder he stated that the contract, the date for arranging for the third fight to happen, like passed through, and he allowed it to pass through. That's the thing that has me stuck. Why would you allow it to pass through if you're very adamant that you want a third fight with Tyson Fury?
Did he allow it to pass through? Or was it just, I'm going to sit here and let my team do what I'm paying them to do, you know what I'm saying? And we keep on getting different dates from the networks.
You would have to ask Deontay Wilder, but like I said, I mean, what he was telling Blue Blood was that, hey, yeah, the date passed, it, allowed it to pass, so moving on and things like that. I'm like, why would you let it pass through if you're very adamant on trying to get a third fight? If you're saying that you were, I guess, ready to go by July, you're ready to go by October, and then you let it pass through or you let the deadline pass. That just doesn't make sense to me, But my thing overall is when you have a fight of this magnitude where you have joint networks being involved in, covering the fight, that I wouldn't think that they would allow a fight of that magnitude to pass through without any problems. That's where I'm stuck at.
And my two things about it is Fox and ESPN, just like how you said, it's a fight of this magnitude. They want their money. Like, regardless, we don't care. We want our money. And this is Al Heyman we talking about. You know what I'm saying? As far as coming up with the contract, you think he doesn't have everything crossed and I's dotted? You think, he doesn't know everything about these contracts? That's why I'm like, for them to hypothetically let the time go by, like, it had to be by design. Like, I don't know, it's got to be something bigger going on in my mind. This could be promotion for the third fight in February. Maybe they're trying to flip it. How, remember Ortiz, the second Ortiz fight with Wilder happened in November, then he turned around and fought Fury in February, that quick turnaround. Maybe they're trying to do the same thing with Fury.
I mean, that could be the case. I mean, if you have a fight against Cabello in early December, then yeah, you could have a quick turnaround to fight Deontay Wilder, by around the same date for 2021, February 23rd, or maybe early March 2021.
But we know Tyson Fury, he doesn't sell by himself. So I don't know why you would want to have him just fight a random person by himself. You're not making any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially behind closed doors over in the UK. And is it the UK on lockdown right now?
Yeah.
So how you gonna have a fight when y'all on lockdown? That's why I don't understand it. I just think it's something ain't right about all of it. It doesn't sit well with me for some strange reason. I just can't see them just letting them run off with the belt to go take it over to AJ. And then Wilder's sitting here to do what? I know he listed Andy Ruiz, possibly Joseph Parker. The Ruiz fight, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. That's a good fight for me. But then, if AJ and Fury go in two fights, what's Wilder gonna do after Ruiz? Who you gonna fight?
I don't know, Charles Martin, or maybe because he was talking about maybe I should go after these guys that are highly ranked in the boxing organizations and then get a mandatory spot or something. I was like, man, that's why I'm like so stuck on what Wilder has done over the past what has it been, 2 weeks? Because if because he's like going at it like he wants to go into, I guess, arbitration or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But and then having those accusations that he's having, I'm like, well, yeah, I just don't know about that. But I mean, this is someone that did have the take Alexander Povetkin to court, and have we really been found out what the results of that was, like that lawsuit?
I don't even remember.
That was 2016, and the thing about it is that the thing with that particular fight was that Wilder had to at least appear in Russia for the week fight to do promotion. And once they had that first test result come out, he was in England, and then instead of going to Russia, he went back to the U.S. So it was like, well, since he did that and he didn't, I guess he didn't fulfill, what was part of that agreement, then that's why the purse was held up. And, like I said, we never really got the results of what happened with that lawsuit. So.
But see, then, like I said, everybody blames Wilder for everything. Povetkin gets popped, it's Wilder's fault. Dillian White gets popped allegedly, it's Wilder's fault. Dillian White gets knocked out, Wilder's fault. AJ gets knocked out, Wilder's fault. Like, you can't blame Wilder for everything. Serious. I've never seen this before. This much hate for a man that gives y'all knockouts. Like, what's the problem? First, you didn't want him to say, you say he's talking too much. Not you, I'm just saying. But, some fans say he's talking too much. He needs to be quiet. Then he's quiet. He's letting, his managers and promoters do the work that he's paying them to do behind the scenes to, secure the big fight. And y'all want him to talk again. Then when he opens his mouth, everybody hates on everything he's saying. And I'm not even trying to get into the glove gate and water and all that stuff. But all I'm saying is, when you watch that second fight, did you think something was wrong with Wilder? Did he look himself?
Why not? That's my question. If he was extremely confident going into that fight, extremely confident that he was going to beat Tyson Fury, that he was going to knock him out, and then he was there performing. He was doing actually what he was doing the same thing he was doing in the first fight, as far as like punching, jabs to the body, mixing things up with his shots and stuff like that. The only thing is that when he kind of like loaded up with his right hand, Tyson Fury was seeing that and kind of like keeping his distance from Deontay Wilder, so that once the right hand came out, that it didn't have, all the power that, that it has in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
So Fury kind of watched for that. And then, Fury just went ahead and he became more aggressive in the second fight, like he said he was going to do. He said he was going to be more aggressive. He's going to have put Wilder in his back foot and say that, hey, Wilder cannot fight off his back foot. And that's what happened. He couldn't really fight off his back foot against someone of Fury's caliber. So the thing with that was Wilder wasn't able to, do what he had done against previous opponents, because he didn't have the same physical advantages against Fury that he did against the other opponents that he had. So,
and that's what I always say. I'm like, you know what? He gonna have to fight Fury. I'm not trying to outbox him. No, you got to go in there and fight. You got to go to his body. You're gonna have to put your head on his chest and really work the body. Because when you load up for your right hands, Tyson Fury can see it coming. All he has to do is lean back, and he's taking the pop. And it's always just, touch him with the left hand, and then try to let the right hand go. That's the only thing he does. He doesn't throw enough punches. You're going to have to work for this knockout. You're going to have to beat Tyson Fury up, and you're going to have to use your athleticism. That's what he has over Tyson Fury. Don't let him, come forward. You're going to have to spin out of that. You're going to have to do something or set him up. So when he comes in, he gonna get caught with something.
But my thing is with Wilder is that he doesn't really move his feet that much. Like he's very reserved in his movement, you know. So as far as like when I know that you bring up like athleticism and things like that, to me athleticism is like being able to bounce up and down, move around the ring, get in and out of range, move. Well, you don't really see many heavyweights do this. Move side to side, you know. Um, I don't really see that with Deontay Wilder. I see him just being very straightforward, moving like one way and moving back another way, not moving, side to side that much. Even though he's considered as a quote unquote light heavyweight, so that's the thing with that. And also, like, I don't really see him fighting much on the inside. Like, I don't see him, like, in every clinch that I saw in that second fight, you didn't really see him fight to get out of it. You didn't see him, like, throw some body shots. You didn't see him, like, throw an uppercut or anything like that. It's like he allowed Tyson Fury to grasp him and lean on him and put his weight on him and things like that. And I'm like, you got to be able to have your opponent respect you in those situations. Like, if that's going to be a strategy, then you need to do something to make him break out of that strategy. And I didn't really see that out of Wilder.
I didn't see that at all either. He's very flat-footed. He's a wide stance, and he's just waiting for that perfect shot. Like, to be real, I don't even really remember Wilder winning that many rounds of really any fight. I think the last fight I've seen him actually win the rounds, besides it being like a knockdown or a knockout, probably what, Stavern? When he was like a different fighter.
Man, that Stavern one, that first Stavern fight was the fight where I think people thought that he had the potential of being, a real complete fighter, because he just used his physical tools to his advantage. He never really got himself to the point where he would, have himself in trouble against Stavern. Like, he controlled the reins from round 1 to round 12 in that particular fight. And he used his complete 6'6", 6'7" height in that particular fight. So I think that's when a lot of people, bought a lot of stock in him. It was just that after the next couple of fights, he became, right hand reliant. And once you become right hand reliant and you go up against guys that could, be open to that, you don't really develop yourself in fights of that magnitude. And, one thing that, I know that I've been in multiple conversations is that one way to build yourself as a fighter is to have people in your camp that, have different physical attributes. So know how to deal with guys of a certain size, a certain height, certain reach, or have speed or have power, When back in the day when he was, around Kronk Gym, he had the likes of, Klitschko around there. As he has someone that, with the physical attributes of a Vladimir Klitschko, or someone that's, aggressive or can get in your face like a David Haye, I haven't really seen that. Like, you compare that to a Tyson Fury who has had the likes of Joseph Parker be in camp with him, or Anthony Joshua be in camp with him. Like, if you have the best of the best to train against, then you're going to be prepared for pretty much any type of situation. But on the flip side, if you don't have that same quality of opponents or training partners, or sparring partners, then how are you going to deal with various situations in the ring if you've never seen it before?
I agree. I think with this situation, the type of people he should bring in should be like what, David Price. I mean, just for the height. Was it Daniel Dubois? Like, bring him in. You need that young energy in your camp anyway, and he gives good work. And somebody that's gonna push you. I know, and I've said this before. I think you bring in Big Baby.
Yep.
If it can happen, because I know they got a lot of bad blood, but nonetheless, I mean, he needs that type of work You know what I'm saying? That endurance, that
Him
stamina.
or Andy Ruiz. If you can't bring in Andy Ruiz, you got Adam Kalnaki. Adam Kalnaki is someone that gives like a whole bunch of activity. He punches, nonstop, punches nonstop. You know what I mean?
How
So he
tall
can
is
give
he?
you that work.
How
Kalnaki is
tall?
not that tall though. I'm
You
just
said
saying mix things up. You could if you're not gonna have him, you could have someone like a Tony Yoka in there or something like that. You know, um, like because Kalnaki is like only 6'3", so there's Kalnaki is not that not much different than many of the opponents that Wilder has had up to the point of fighting a Tyson Fury. Maybe someone like a Robert Helenius, like fly him over. You know, Otto Walling, even though Otto Walling, has told me like he would like to fight Wilder, like bring in Otto Walling or at least go up to New York and train with Otto Walling. So
yeah. I think you bring in Klitschko. You could bring in Klitschko, Otto Wallin, just people that have actually shared the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said Lennox Lewis, because I mean he's a champion that lost and came back and won. So he understands the mind state that Wilder's in right now. Same thing with George Foreman. They lost the fight, came back and became champion again. So it's like a hurdle it's a mental as well as a physical hurdle you gotta get over in order to, get back on top. But Fury is just, he plays the mind games. Like this dude right here is just ridiculous with the mind games. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was in the crowd for the second fight, right? I was actually both fights, but the second fight in Vegas, like when he said he would beat Wilder in 2 rounds, when that second round started, I'm looking like, all right, what does he got? You know what I'm saying? What is he gonna try to do? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. So if I was thinking like that, I can only imagine what Wilder was thinking. But nonetheless, I mean, Fury, what he one of those knockdowns was a trip. I do believe it was a trip. Another one was I think it was when he hit him with the body shot, he tripped as well, but referee was on the other side, couldn't really see it. So I'm just sitting there like, dude, he was tripping over stuff. He went down with a body shot. The man didn't have his legs under him. So for Wilder to get mad at Mark Breland for stopping the fight, I'm honestly okay with him stopping the fight. Dude, I know you got that one hitter quitter, but you got to get your feet set in order to let it go. And your feet weren't there. You was getting beat up. But it's okay. In my mind, it's okay for that. We can come back at the trilogy. But now, with them trying to potentially take away the trilogy, now I got a problem. And Tyson Fury all on social media saying, "Oh, Wilder needs some help. I'm here to help him. He's crazy. I could sue him for defamation for $100 million, but I'm not that type of person. I'm just not gonna give him the rematch." No, you go. No, if you got any problem with what this man said when he accused you of cheating, you sue him. That way, everything can be laid out in court. But see, I think Tyson Fury doesn't want that. I really don't. I think it's just a lot of weird stuff that went on. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but too much stuff happened, and nobody can really explain the gloves, the water. Even when Mark Breland put out his statement, he didn't confirm nor deny anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm looking at everybody sideways, like, wait, what's going on, man?
yeah, there's something going on with both sides because, like I've been saying, and I've said this, on my channel, I said if there was something really serious about what Wilder was talking about since October 31st, that he needs to also bring up this to the California State Athletic Commission and the Nevada State Athletic Commission because they would be the ones that allowed that stuff to happen if it happens. My thing is usually with fights, when it comes to gloves in particular, you have the process where the gloves are chosen, they're approved by the State Athletic Commission, they're wrapped, and the trainers for the opposite side are present doing their wrap, for the fighter, right? And then after the fight takes place, then the State Athletic Commission still examines the gloves afterwards. So they don't necessarily, go elsewhere. The State Athletic Commission, checks them afterwards. So if there was like an issue, then they would be able to detect it immediately, or at least put suspicion on it, right? Like
Yeah.
in a comparison, we just had a fight in Los Angeles between Luis Ortiz and Alexander Flores,
Yeah.
and Alexander Flores has had his purse be held because they felt like he basically took a dive in that first round stoppage or first round knockout to Luis Ortiz. So why is it that they could do that quickly, but there's nothing that has happened, as far as like these two fights between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, like that, that really has me, perplexed. Um, I'm kind of like up in the air as far as like if a third fight is actually going to happen. Like I said, it's something to the magnitude when you have a fight that had a gate of 16.5 million or more, that you don't want to lose that type of money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why would either party let it pass? Um, I did say after the second fight that maybe it may be wise or it may be um, a good type of strategy if Deontay Wilder didn't necessarily have the third fight immediately, that he could fight, a couple of other opponents to develop a few things before having his third fight against Tyson Fury. But if he's, so aggressive, in having his third fight, then, that's on him. I just think that it was I just didn't see that as being something where he should go after that third fight, immediately because of the way that he got beat in the second fight. That was like, to me, that was like gruesome when I was watching that fight. Like he, had his ear busted, his lip wasn't, all too good, and he
I
was
can't.
like, exhausted, and I was like, man, I was like, yo, if that fight wasn't stopped, I didn't know what would happen with Wilder.
Exactly. I couldn't even. I probably watched it one more time. I couldn't watch it after that. Like, that's one of those fights. I'm good. I don't need to see that crap. Because everything was just weird. That whole day was weird for me. I knew something was gonna happen. I really did. But that man could have potentially died in there.
Right.
So that's why I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't understand why he's so mad at Mark Breland, and some people are mad at Mark Breland for stopping the fight. If this man would have died, they would have been like, "Why didn't you stop the fight?" You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose, you lost. Let's come back and we get the trilogy.
You
Redeem
get
yourself.
you get the trilogy. At the very least, you get the trilogy. You get the money off the trilogy. But and what really what really got me was that it was like immediately after the stoppage they were going after Mark Breland, and you kind of like saw after like in the post fight press conference, like they had JD's in there and Shelly Finkel, and they were like all trying to get on Mark Breland for that, and I'm like, man, like I said, the way that JD's was like kind of treating the cuts and stuff like that during the fight, it didn't look like he was really an experienced trainer in that
Mhm.
instance. Like I didn't see like any type of cut, man. I didn't see like anywhere near that.
Nothing. Like, that's
They
why I'm
just
like,
they just
something
put
was
like a
wrong.
towel over his head and rubbed his ear, and I was like, man, that just doesn't look right at all.
At all. That's why I'm like, dude, something. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know who got what, but everything is crazy. I don't know if people just flipped on him for no reason at all, or somebody got a little visit or something. You know what I'm saying? Because remember that farmer over in the UK? Now he's switching his story up, so now Tyson Fury is going to be able to go fight over there. It's too much stuff. Tyson Fury calling out, shouting out, who was an alleged Irish mobster or something on his social media and stuff, supposedly getting the deal done with AJ. I'm like, dude, but he gets passes for everything. That's my thing. He gets passes for everything. So if the roles were reversed and Deontay Wilder was the one shouting out, alleged Irish mobsters, he was the one glove issues, he was the one testing positive, not wanting to, have a rematch with people. What would they say about Deontay Wilder? They would kill him in the media. But I just don't get it. This man lost. He wants his rematch. Go ahead and fight the trilogy. Be done with it. If it's so easy, it should be. That's easy money for you. But no, he got to run away. His fans trying to justify why. Like, you fans are really excited to see Tyson Fury potentially face, what's his name? Whatever the dude name over there. I don't even know the dude's name. I'd never even heard of that guy before. He's always fighting no-name people. You got to look up and be like, who is this? Just think about it. In his last, 5 fights, he's fought just Wilder. Everybody else I've never heard of. But he gets a pass. Wilder gets killed for fighting Ortiz twice. Come on, at least you heard of Luis Ortiz. At least you heard of Dominic Brazil. At least he, fought AJ. Like, come on. And he did what he was supposed to do with him. Got him out of there in 1 round. Got Luis Ortiz out of there 7 rounds. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury going life and limb with what's his name, Otto Wallin, and the fight should have been stopped because of that cut. Any other fighter, they would have stopped the fight, but they let him keep going. It's just, I'm sick of this, man. I just want the fight to happen. Let's go. It's been long enough. 2020 been a terrible year for everybody. Like, it's just a crazy year, 2020. So let's at least try to get something, have something to look forward to for 2021. You know what I'm saying? I just had to get all this stuff out, man. Then I get news, just a quick little change. Get news that Floyd Mayweather talking about coming back in 2021. What's your thoughts on that?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I put a video on the page. He shout out, say he's gonna be fighting in Tokyo, Japan at the Tokyo Dome or whatever. I don't care. I really don't. Like, I love Floyd for his time, but dude, go sit down. You're gonna be 42, 43. We're not really begging you to come back for nothing, honestly. Like, you handle your business. But see, this is the thing that's in the back of my mind. Pacquiao hasn't said anything. He's holding that WBA belt. So hypothetically, if he fights Floyd in an exhibition, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the most money he makes, especially over there. Like, it's going to do numbers over there. But nonetheless, like, you give up that belt, you go out with a bang fighting Floyd, because that's the real fight you cared about anyway. You don't care about none of these guys. You was fighting all these guys to try to get Floyd back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And even, I think it was before the Broner fight, Pacquiao, was like, hey, what's up, Floyd? You want to fight? And Floyd was like, I'm not coming back to boxing. We can do it in an exhibition. But Pacquiao didn't want it. But I just think Pacquiao, go ahead. If you can make that fight happen with Floyd as an exhibition, go ahead and do it. Get your money. Retire from the game. Because people don't care if it's an exhibition or if it counts. Because if they see Floyd knocked out on the ground, best believe it's going to count. And everybody going to see it everywhere because memes is going to go retarded. But I just think Pacquiao holding up the division, at least say something. Are you gonna fight Mikey on the zone? Who you gonna fight? If not, give up the belt so we can go ahead and get Earl and Crawford. You know what I'm
saying? Man, I don't know about this Crawford fight, man. This is
like the buzz around it is kind of weird, man, because they're talking about Crawford may not be even top rank. Anymore, and the contract is nearly expired. When, I thought he had re-upped with Top Rank for at least another 1.5, 2 years.
I heard that too.
I don't know.
They always wait to the last. They wait to the last week to start promoting the fight. I can't stand how Top Rank promotes. But this is Bob Arum we talking about. So you really think Bob's gonna let somebody just go without having something or screwing them on the way out,
I mean, this almost has the fit like the inklings of the Pacquiao Horn fight.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. You know what? Since you brought that up, that's exactly how I see Kell Brook beating Bud. He's got to make it ugly. And when he starts frustrating Bud, he gonna come in because he's gonna get frustrated, and he gonna come right into that uppercut. I'm picking Kell Brook right now. Straight up. Yeah. It sounds crazy though. But
someone said that he got Kell Brook stopping Crawford in 10 rounds.
Yep. I got the same thing. I see it. Kell Brook, and there's no rehydration clause.
Man, that's the thing too. I
He
think
gonna be like
people overlooking that.
Yeah, he gonna be 170, 180 in there, man. Like Bud he's a nice size. He's not no small welterweight at all. Like I've stood next to the man, but I just think Kell Brook he's gonna be too big for him.
Yeah.
And Kell Brook has skills. They act like Kell Brook is trash.
Hey, right. And one thing in the
The Zoom conference call, I was hoping that I would have been able to ask Bud the question about that. I said that, Brooke keeps talking about size and everything like that, but the thing with Terrence Crawford is he trains with a good amount of people that are much bigger than him. Like he spars with Steven Nelson, who's there at like 175, 180. So it's not like, Crawford is gonna be like going up against a bigger guy, and that's gonna be a problem for him. Like he goes through multiple fights or sparring matches with Steven Nelson, and Steven Nelson is there at light heavyweight. So
YSM, what's up, man?
What's good, Joe?
Yeah, we sitting here talking about the Crawford and Kell Brook fight. How it feels a little weird, man. Like something just doesn't seem right about it.
This is going to be a more competitive fight than initially what fans think. But sometimes he has like mental lapses, to where as though he's there to be hit. We all saw the Mean Machine fight. They didn't call it a knockdown, but we knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just be honest, the elite fighters that the elite fighter that he fought was a much smaller man. We've seen him against a lot of good or above average fighters. And I'm not sure what Kell Brook is anymore, but I know that on paper, Kell Brook is the best fighter that he's fought since 135 pounds.
Mm. I mean, you wouldn't consider Jeff Horn an elite fighter?
No, I would not.
I mean, hey, he beat Pacquiao. Yeah, however you want to call it, he beat Pacquiao.
Yo, come on. Have you ever seen Jeff Horn fight?
He's sloppy, man.
The funny thing about boxing is this, right? You can have a good win and still not be an elite fighter. You can beat an elite fighter and still not be an elite fighter. Styles make fights. Every fight is different. So when people try to rock with that triangle theory, it just doesn't work, because triangle theory will have you believe that George Foreman should have stopped Muhammad Ali.
Somebody needs to tell these young boys at 130, 135 that.
Because just because Tank stopped Gamboa and just because T.O. looked good against Lomachenko don't mean they're gonna beat Dev. That's not what that means.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get in the ring. You have to prove it. Like every fight is different. Some styles work against other styles, and a lot could be going on. There's a lot of factors that go into a fight, and context is key.
Absolutely.
So I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I'm picking Bud to win, but I think we're going to see some shit.
I believe that I'm with you 100%. Like, as far as we're going to see some shit, because I'm picking Kell Brook. Like, it's I'm in 10. I'm picking Kell Brook. I've told y'all that. I just feel like I'm serious. I was dead serious, but I might put some money on that. I don't know. But I'm probably not going to put no money on that. But I don't know. He's going to be rehydrated. We don't know what he's going to rehydrate to. I just think if he went through camp, if he had a comfortable camp, he makes weight comfortably, if his eyes held up and he's healthy, it's going to be a problem for Bud.
One of the things that's not good, though, is that Bud hasn't really tested himself in the upper echelon of the weight class. It's like he looked really good in the Amir Khan fight. But Amir Khan quit. He's done. Like,
Absolutely.
he quit that fight. Mentally, Amir Khan isn't there anymore. There comes a time where, guys who've been fighting their whole life, they don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
So, Benavidez was a good prospect, but he has certain deficiencies, his leg. Mean Machine, we saw him get outboxed by Ray Robinson.
Mhm.
Jeff Horn is ass. Like, not just a regular ass, not like a cute perky ass. Jeff Horn is a big old, I'm talking about down south, homegrown, neck bone eating ass. He's ass. He's terrible. Jeff Horn is one of the worst fighters I've ever seen.
It was that shit. He had so many headbutts in that Pacquiao fight. That was like a Holyfield fight in there, man. Straight up. But moving on. Hey, have y'all heard anything about that Caleb Plant and Canelo? Because I'm hearing different things saying the fight is off.
I'm hearing it's off for a specific reason, which makes sense. The reason being it's not enough time to put on a pay-per-view. And it isn't.
I mean, it's 6 weeks. It's Canelo.
Yeah.
No, you can't. It's 6 weeks. You promote a pay-per-view. What is it, JR? What's promotion? Like 1 to 2 weeks for a pay-per-view?
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm talking about actual physical promotion.
Yeah, physically, yeah, it's like 2 weeks. But the thing is, too, like a fight of that magnitude, even though you have this whole COVID thing, you still would have like a whole, like media announcement and that type of thing that happens, like once the fight is announced. So, and that's a good, 2 or 3 months? So,
But you know what?
Go from like 2 months to like 6 weeks or less.
I think we're forgetting the fact that they're trying to put that on like the week after Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. That's 2 pay-per-views in the same month.
Bro, it's not even 6 weeks. That's 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm Canelo, just wait till January.
No, because he wants to get in the fight now.
Yeah.
So
he can just do what he wants.
Where the zone doesn't have like the pay-per-view model, like the pay-per-view model, you have to really be on your game with promotion and getting it out early to burn it in people's brains. With the zone, it's just like, okay, it's going to be on the zone. All right.
But this is my question. Okay, with him going to court with the zone and them settling for whatever, why would you want to go right back to the zone? Because I guarantee you they're probably going to try to lowball you. Like, I'm not going to pay you 30, 40 million that you're used to.
From a PR perspective, the zone didn't have any issues with Canelo or what he wanted to do.
It was Golden Boy.
They said, hey, if you want to get away from this contract, no problem. Because the thing about it is that once that contract was initially made, it was through what's that guy that came from ESPN. So yeah, and it was actually an agreement between the zone and Golden Boy, and then Golden Boy directed it out to Canelo. But once Leonard Blackvanick and the other heads of the zone and Perform Group, they're like, whoa, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that we're giving such and such to Canelo? And this is what y'all want out of this? And they're like, oh, whoa, no, we got to pull that back. So once Canelo had that lawsuit, the heads of the zone was like, you know what? You want out of this? No problem. Whatever if you want some type of settlement, no problem. We'll give that to you. As long as, we have the possibility of working with you in the future, then, hey, we'll go ahead and give you a settlement. So in this instance, like if this Canelo Plant is out the window, fine. But, hey, you could have a fight against Callum Smith or, someone else, and we'll be able to put it on for you. No problem. We could give you pretty much the same amount of money that we gave you for the Rocky Fielding fight. 15 million? That's all right. 15, 20 million? We'll give you that. With the possibility of working with you in the future. So he could, have a fight against you know, another Rocky Fielding type guy, as long as they have the possibility of working with Canelo in the future. And
And
so
I'm okay
Canelo
with
being
that.
a free agent, he could go anywhere he wants to. He doesn't have to have a multi-fight deal with the company. He could just have one-off.
And that, you
Oh,
know what, that makes for the best fights though.
yeah, AJ doesn't have a deal with his own. A lot of people don't know that. He's on a fight by fight basis.
I
Right.
thought he had a deal with Sky.
Yeah, Sky, but that's his
He does,
UK.
but that's guy.
That's the UK provider. A US deal, he doesn't have a deal with DAZN.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
And actually, let's talk about this, right? What is AJ going to do now that they're launching? Like that's a very overlooked situation. Eddie has stake in DAZN, but he also has had a working relationship with Sky for the last 10 years. Now DAZN is launching in the UK. What the fuck is that?
I would do just like Canelo with a fight by fight basis. That's it. And then have them just give me the most money. I just pick from there. You know what? That's probably why they wanted Canelo to come back so he could fight Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith for the UK DAZN launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been that soon though. They would have had to put up some good money for that.
Hey yo, DAZN's post-COVID rollout has been ass.
You had like it's been fire like since they launch. they whole existence is trash.
No, they had some solid fights that on paper didn't look good, but when you actually got to the event, it's like, okay, this is a good fight. Like Joan O'Carroll versus Tevin Farmer, that was a good fight.
But that we shouldn't have to hope that it's a good fight. The fight that you give us should already just sell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's my thing. Like, what was the best fight? Well, matter of fact, what's the biggest fight they can make in-house on DAZN right now?
Probably
Gennady Golovkin against Demetrius Andrade.
That's the biggest fight.
No, probably
I'm just
Callum
throwing
Smith,
out fights.
Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, Callum Smith Saunders would be it. But here's the issue with that. Those are two UK guys. So
And they haven't
from
been
a
looking good.
US perspective, like you're not going to be necessarily interested in a fight, even though it's a high, a fight of high magnitude and as far as like the sport of boxing. But like in the US, are you gonna really have much interest in a fight between Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders?
Hell no. We barely had any interest with Billy Joe Saunders and Andrade. I honestly think that would have been a good fight. It would have been more of a chess match.
Hey, fellas, thanks for having me on. I got to shoot real fast.
All right, we're gonna holler at you, bro.
All right.
But honestly, like I think anybody on DAZN is just, I don't know. Billy Joe Saunders, he hasn't looked good since he got popped with that inhaler from the Andrade fight. Then he went up to 68. He didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? Was it Callum Smith didn't look good against John Ryder? Some people say he lost that fight. Jaime Munguia, Chris Hogan, in my mind, beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Hogan beat him. And shout out to my guy though, man. Toriano, he gave a great effort there, man. He just didn't have the legs, man. He didn't have the legs. He's still recovering. I hit him up was it last week? He's still recovering from that. So
That was a bad cut, man.
Yeah.
God, that was bad.
But he was just open to those uppercuts that whole fight.
Salute. How old is he? Was like 37, right? 36, 37?
He's about 36.
Okay. Salute to him. But I honestly, like I said, like I think Andrade and Jaime is a good fight. Triple G and Jaime is a good fight. Just by their styles. I like that. Shit, you know what? Now think about it. I don't know what's Jaime gonna do, because they said he wanted him to fight in December. or probably January or something. I don't know who's on. Has Andre got a fight right now?
Yeah, well, I don't know because they were talking about, he was supposed to fight. He's fighting Dusty Hernandez on the 27th. So,
He needs a big name, bro. Like it's been too long for him not to get any real name. It's ridiculous.
and the thing is, like him and Jacobs won't fight, so that's out.
Oh, they got the same trainer, right?
It's not like they got the same trainer. It's just that I don't know. It's like some type of relationship where they just don't, fight each other. The thing was, Jacobs and Jacobs had the thing with who is he fighting? Derevianchenko, and they had the same trainer then, but
okay, they still made it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever. All I'm saying is the zone. I canceled my subscription like last month, bro. I had it the entire time since the launch. I'm not happy. I love the app. The app is good. I don't really like the commentary. It's kind of just cheesy and Hollywood. I was hoping for that to be, the main platform for the big fights since they came in with all the money, and I haven't been getting it. I haven't even been getting like big fights within their own roster of fighters. That's what I'm mad about. Like you couldn't even get Triple G and Canelo. You couldn't get Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders. You couldn't get, you know what I'm saying? You just couldn't get a lot of these fights. Andrade can't get a fight. What am I paying for? I'm paying for a whole bunch of fights that I already know who's going to win. Why am I watching this? But whatever. Man, I'm about to hop off of here, man. I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
All right, dude.
I'm going to holler at you, bro.
Yep.
All right.